that Pee Wee Herman show is like the epitome almost of my childhood with my name. Because remember the scene when he would come in and talk to the genie and the genie would go, Mecca like a high, Mecca hiney ho. Mecca like a high, Mecca shiny ho.
Oh,
Mullah,
my
Mecca,
God,
mullah.
I hear it.
Oh, I used to get teased so badly. Like, every time a person,
right in that ballpark.
every time someone came up and met me, they like, oh, Mecca like a high, Mecca hiney ho.
You're drunk. Mecca.
Yeah.
Welcome back, my friend. It's so nice to see you back.
It's nice to see you guys too. I kind of miss you.
No, don't lie. You didn't you've been off gallivanting across the planet. And just now, as you and I were pre-gaming, along with Katelyn, as she running around still going, getting her feet back in La Roca a little bit, some customer comes in and you go, hey, that's who hired me this past weekend. Is that who hired you? Who's the woman that came in just while we were sitting at the bar?
Oh, yeah. Jessica.
Wow, that was easy to pull right out. I mean,
came to me a while back.
But isn't that where you were this weekend?
Yeah, that's where I was at, out Virginia.
I have purposely not let you tell me because you wanted to tell me
I do.
about your weekend.
I do.
I love what you do. You, and we visited this before. You work at, what do you call your main job? I know what you do. Is it a homeless shelter, a women's homeless shelter?
No, it's actually a drug and alcohol facility.
That's actually what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting ahead of myself. And you run the kitchen.
Right.
I've been there how many years?
7.
You all need to pay her. I'm going to steal her,
Okay.
just so you know. I've been trying to steal her since day one. When I said, I will come up with fake offers as long as I don't have to live up to it.
I'll sign.
Oh, well, good. We'll make you, dude, you're in enough debt. Student loan
I didn't
girl.
say I was going to be the one to pay her. I just said I'll sign the offer.
Well, we got Mecca back this weekend, and I'm so glad because Mecca has been off. Not this past weekend. The past weekend was a girls' trip to
Miami.
Right. You like to go to Miami. You didn't see Odin, did you?
No, I didn't.
Odin,
I do. I
big
like,
shout out. He's back.
Yeah, definitely. I love Odin. I miss his sister. She was like,
Erin, big shout out. Love Erin as well.
She's so lively.
She's living, right now, she's somewhere outside of Amsterdam, living her best
life.
Yeah, school abroad, and just possibly partying her face off. Hello.
Odin already told me, like,
oh, yeah.
I said, well, is she coming back? He said, at this point, I don't think she coming back from anything. Like,
and they're so
over there
and they're so
herself.
Based. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're so grounded, those two.
Right.
Like, we've met the parents. We know the family.
They're good kids.
Yeah, they're just good kids.
They're
They
good
really
kids
are.
that you know are going to be really good adults.
Kids. I want to stop saying kids because they're neither of them.
They're
young adults
but I still
now.
call them my kiddos.
Right.
He's the youngest of the two. He's 19, University of Miami, big place. And hypothetically, and he wouldn't do this, but if they were going to go out partying, they go to Miami. He told me if they were going to do that, but he wouldn't do that.
He wouldn't do that.
He's not happening in his world.
But they know we refer to them as kids because they were my camp kids last summer, and they referred to themselves as the camp kids last summer. We ran summer camp.
She was underage when we met.
She was
her,
20.
wasn't she?
He was 20. He was 18. We had Everett 18.
Cousin
Everett
was 20.
Yeah, Michaela was 20. Quinn was 18. We ran a summer camp out of La Roca last
We
summer.
really did.
And it was
That
a
was an
great
awesome
summer.
crew, though. I loved it.
It was a lot of fun, and I'm
was.
looking forward to a lot of those people coming
They
back
kept
this
us
summer.
young and alive
Like
this
Odin.
summer.
But surprisingly, Everett has an old soul.
I haven't heard from Everett. Yeah, but Everett has an old soul and an old liver.
Everett's
because
taking-
he is a young guy with a lot of alcohol consumption at school.
Yeah, Everett's probably retaking some of his classes this summer.
Oh, shit.
Like he might want to work, but they might be saying, no, you're going to summer school for college, stupid.
Like,
Because he's Penn State, shout out.
remember that D you
That
got? Yeah,
line.
we need to replace it. Remember that?
But you know what?
He had a fun first semester.
You know what's weird? Not weird about Everett as we're talking about our friends who work here. Everett's parents are worldly. Was his dad? No, somebody's dad's a pilot.
Michaela's dad's
a pilot.
And that was the
But
cousin,
Everett,
right?
last year, the Phillies played in London, and Everett's family went to London for one of the games.
Yeah.
They went to you can get a lift for $60. You can get beers, they're $18 each at the Dawn.
To be fair, his family made like a 2-week trip out of them going to London. Michaela, on the other hand, went to London for 3 days just to see a Phillies game.
Wow.
She did?
Yes.
Michaela with Aaron and Odin.
Yeah.
Michaela went to London for 3 days just to see a Phillies.
It's good they have kids that are rich and they don't need to make money, apparently.
No, but you know what?
Hell?
I know I've talked to those kids. I know their stories, but I love the fact that they come there with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Abby's been there 5-6 years. We like to say.
they don't have to be there. They could have chose anywhere else. Like I don't want to work there. I'd rather be here or be there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's decent.
So I forget how I got Aaron. I know it was through Michaela. Michaela, I think, was through Indeed. That's their cousin. Oh, I have great availability, and we loved Michaela. Going in the military, I loved Michaela. I still do. I shouldn't say it like that. And then I think she said, "Oh, my cousin." Maybe that's how I got Aaron.
She said my cousin.
So I meet Aaron. We meet Aaron. Oh, no, I know what it was. Michaela comes in for her interview, and she's leaving. And just as she's leaving, she goes, "Yeah, and by the way, you might hear from my cousin who's looking for a job." I go, "Have her reach out. Have her get back to me today." She goes, "Well, she's in the car." And I go, "Oh, yo, bring her in." So we get Aaron. So somehow I'm sitting up at the second floor bar one day.
Like 2 weeks later,
I turn around.
Aaron starts.
I turn around, and there's this, little 6'9" giant of a blonde, good-looking kid.
You're skipping a step in this story because Aaron comes to us and goes, "My friend
is
looking for a job," and I'm like, "Oh, your friend, like guy, girl? No, a guy." Like, is he like responsible like you? Like a friend of yours has to be just like you.
On me?
No, she said my friend is looking for a job, and then you said,
I know I was at the bar and I turned around and I looked him.
And you probably said to him like, "Oh, if you're working tomorrow, have him come in."
Okay.
And I think, and they sit down for the interview, and the whole name comes out, and it's Aaron blah and Odin blah. And everyone's just kind of looking at each other like, "You're friends with someone with the last name as you? That's a little suspicious." And she goes, "Well, yeah, so maybe he's not my friend. He might be my younger brother."
Wow.
Come on, kids.
Well, we love them. And Odin's back, serving, bartending. Just love having them.
I was surprised when I said, "So you're bartending?"
Oh, we've been waiting. We caught him during the winter.
Bartending over the winter.
I did.
Yeah, you knew that.
Here.
He was home for a month.
Probably days.
Mostly days with me.
I was here. I knew that. Okay.
And he probably served on the weekends. Bartending during the week on the days, during the day. And then on the weekends.
Growing up, are we?
Yo, do you know that they're athletes?
Yes.
They play the same sport.
Do the
no, Quinn.
Quinn is the
Crazy
rower.
Quinn was the rower.
Oh, okay.
They're water polo players.
Which also just as
Which
much.
is upper body
Odin
strength.
do something because he's gigantic. Like,
and he's
even as a kid, like,
he's a child though too, which is not only immature because he's a smart guy.
For someone like Odin, you can't be named after a Greek god in Norse mythology.
Is that a god, Odin?
Yes,
he is.
And you can't be a wimp.
Can't just be named.
Dude, he lives up to the
He does live up to it though. That's the thing.
It's like naming a Chihuahua Zeus. Like you can't name a Chihuahua Zeus. So you name a kid Odin, you got to know they're gonna look like a Greek.
And I said that when Eric brought it to my attention. I said, "Well, look, he lives up to the name. Look at him."
Yeah, it's like when people name like pit bulls Zeus.
So
right.
Let me bring this back. So Mecca, world traveling. We've mentioned some of our people that are back since your world travel tour 2025 has started. I know it's not over.
It's very low.
Dude, we're only in May.
Yeah, we're only
So you
in
went
May.
to Miami. You, girl, I don't even know who goes. It's none of my business. I just know you always come back a little tired the first day, but always happy. Mm-hmm. You love Miami.
I do. I like Miami.
Why? The clubs?
Yeah.
I can't believe you haven't met Odin. Maybe different
and
clubs.
They're up all night. I don't know. They're up all night.
Is that right?
They give me like 99, 2000 vibes how Philly used to be. Like, I don't know.
It's like pre-COVID when you could walk into a
Right.
club
To
and
just
know,
be
like,
outside and nobody said, "Oh, we're closing in 10 minutes." Like, it's only 11.
Well, because the workforce was better.
yeah.
Part of it was just the workforce. When they did, I don't know who the president was. It was Biden's term now that I think about it. But whenever they gave out the stimulus checks, and I'm glad that we did for everything, but people also saw that and got a little lazy and didn't come back to this industry
They did
like
not
they
wanna
used to be.
No. Not one.
I don't know about all the other industries. I know the unemployment rate is what it is. But people didn't come back to our industry like they were before the pandemic, obviously, because part of it was the stimulus. Now they just passed no tax on tips. That's awesome for our staff.
That is.
So they can make that money. So you were doing Florida. You didn't get to meet Odin. Now you guys can coordinate for when he goes back.
First face I saw when I got back.
You came back for a minute or two. I don't know if I saw you. Normally you and I get to hang out Thursdays together.
Right.
Podcast. Saturdays or me and you kind of day, catching up on the kitchen, this and that.
Right.
Yeah, a night that's normally me and him, Thursday nights, it's always you and I, no matter who else is going to sit in these chairs with us.
True.
It's really you and Mecca. I'm the third wheel.
Dude, wheels are important. It doesn't matter if you're the third,
Right.
fourth, or fifth.
Third wheel on the tricycle.
True.
You're
Just saying.
The third wheel.
Actually, no.
No.
We
You're
were so silent.
I
He's
said
like,
you're the
short,
safety wheel.
short.
Because
He's back there typing.
Training wheel?
Oh my God.
You're
The training wheel?
I said safety.
Bro.
Each side of the wheel.
I feel like you two are your own little two-wheeled bike, and I'm over here on my unicycle.
No, you know what?
No,
you know what?
listen, can I point out though?
Do.
I pay attention to my surroundings. Oh my goodness. And those little groupies, they hate it.
Oh, they hate that.
They hate that.
They hate that his attention is not undivided.
What about me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, they hate it.
Yeah. I have my own groupies, but you got more than me, friend.
Ooh, they hate it. They
I'm
like,
older.
she's
Does that
coming.
mean?
Yeah, I built them up over time.
She's coming.
And then, wait, no, they see you coming. They're like, she's coming. And then they see me coming. They're like, oh, here comes the bitch.
No. Here's what it is on Saturdays with me and Mecca.
He's about to park the Red Sea.
You love to work doubles, or you did before, and I want to talk about your job.
I started.
But you used to work doubles all the time, and I know you're still doing it. And Mecca and I would like to work our butts off and just quit between 5:30 and 6:30-ish.
Yeah.
And sit at the bar and have some beverages. Because, again, me, I drink sometimes Thursday nights. I drink on the podcast. We go back, I'll have a couple of beverages. I don't drink the other nights of the week. And I love hanging out with Mecca because we don't shut up. People should record our podcast when we're Saturday and we're nonstop. Let me tell you about this. Let me tell you about this. And then this person in the kitchen is not prepping enough.
It's like
and this person's
volleyball.
not ordering enough.
Or tennis.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying. Yeah, but it's just us catching up with what we care about. And you're there Saturdays and you're stuck, not stuck bartending. You're not able to be in the conversation. So a bunch of Saturdays in a row, I haven't been able to hang with Mecca. What did you do this last weekend? So you gave me plenty of notice, Stephen. I need to do this. I need a yada, yada, yada. And then to bring the story around real fast, we just came from the restaurant, La Roca. I hate to say La Roca sometimes because the podcast isn't about La Roca. And I think people go, oh, he's trying to promote the restaurant. And I'm not. But if you don't know where I'm from or who we are, what we're talking about, that's on you.
We build relationships in Roca.
I'm sitting down. We just sit down. She gets some chips and some girls walk in and they're like staring. I'm going, They staring at me, they staring at you. And it was her. Because they were the ones, is that who had just hired you for this past weekend?
Right. Yeah.
Tell us what you did. This like, when did you leave Philly to go to where? Virginia?
Virginia.
Yeah.
Yes. I was hired as a private cook for the camping ground that they would be spending the weekend at. Man.
Turns out it was all tents, huh?
Tents. It was cabins, but it was a real life Crystal Lake type cabin.
It wasn't glamping. It was like full blown camping.
No, dark. Like no off the grid, no service.
No.
That's the one thing that they had. And
I was plumbing.
I was a little irked by that because I see the connection going on for the electricity, for the cabin.
Yeah.
No Wi-Fi. No Wi-Fi. No phone service. Like the first night I got there, it was really like a rug being snatched from under me. It was like, what the fuck? No service? I can't use my phone?
You know why I would love no Wi-Fi for you?
Why?
I'll give you both. So you can just get away and be with whoever you were there with, okay? But you're a mom. You got case on.
That was the...
You got me. And I might have questions. Mecca, how do I cook this?
You're 20 minutes away from him sometimes, and he's still just blowing up the phone.
Right.
No. So guess what? The whole time I'm wrecking my brain like, oh, I gotta stop, gotta run. I have to run a trail to the front where the cars is parked to get service. Other than that, it's like, I'm off the grid.
You were running?
Can't you bring one of those things?
If I wait too late.
When was the last time you ran?
I run.
Can I tell you about her running?
We'll run.
But look, wait.
Can I tell you about her running up and down the stairs of La Roca? I can, because it's never happened.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
True. It's not true. I ran today. So look, right? If I waited too late, it start getting dark. It get dark, I have to trail by myself.
Yeah.
It's dark.
Bears.
Whatever. It was like crack. And you don't see shit. You just hear shit.
Raccoons.
All I have is, mind you, I'm not prepared for this shit at all. Like
How many edibles deep are you at this time?
Thank God that's they're 420 family. So they were floating, and I'm like, please, because I won't even be able to go to sleep tonight if I do not. Like Friday, I got so hammered. I had to.
Friday, it was Friday.
Friday. Do you hear me? Like, because once you got to those cabins, it was like.
How many people in the cabin?
It was me by myself.
How many people did the cabin sleep, though?
They can hold multiples. They can hold singles.
And you were by yourself?
If I brung someone
with you, banging, scratching.
No, they gave me a cabin just in case I brought someone with me, but I didn't bring anyone.
No. What I mean is, had I known, I would have driven down there.
He would have been
just to scare the shit out of you. Oh, this would have been awesome. I would have had scream masks.
Nope.
I would have had bloody knives with ketchup all over them. Oh yeah, waving it under the door. Mecca, come out and play.
The things. I saw a moth.
So why were you there? You were there to
I do bugs either.
I was just about
this. Mecca will scream if there's like a butterfly.
It was a moth the size of a golf ball. I've never saw a moth this big. And moths are really beautiful creatures. They are. The bigger they are, the more of the pattern you see in them. But I've never saw it before in real life. So as it's flying around, I'm ducking. I'm like, oh, I don't want to kill you because you're beautiful, but you can't stay in here with me. I'm looking like
ruthless serial killer of moths. I see a moth, I'm gonna kill you.
It is. That's
you're gonna die.
That was a little low of me because I don't like bugs.
Now, how many people were out there?
It was a lot. Her whole family.
A lot. Oh, that's good. Was that 6? Is that 600?
No, it was about 50.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it was about 50. Originally, it was supposed to be about 100.
How many people were cooking?
Just me.
That's where I'm going with this. Look at me leading. I'm like Brian Gumble
Was it
over here.
buffet style?
Blonde hair. Hey?
I let them just choose what they wanted to do off of, like, I had a menu going at first, but things don't always go
Where'd the
according to
food
plan,
come from?
so.
Don't say it fell off a truck calling from the city.
No, they
I would have
shop.
bought it for you from U.S. Foods.
They shop their self. They did do their produce in Philly, and I think they did a lot of the meat source out in Virginia. But like I said, things don't always go according to plans. Some things it was like they were a little off with. I just had to be patient and let them feel, work themselves out, because from what I was told, it was a traditional thing that the elders of their family started long ago.
Okay, that's cool.
And they've been out there as kids. I mean, like, geez, they was out there like this is nothing. Like, the kids are running around playing in the dark with their flashlights. They got their little calls.
So it's kids growing up like kids used to grow up.
Yeah.
Like, because that was normal. I mean, my grandparents lived at the beach for the first 10 years of my life, and it was normal to
that's
running up and down the like closed off drive and through the yard and
like
through
fire tag, whatever you guys used
through
to play in the
through the neighbors' yards into the marsh, and
sure.
it was nothing to be outside for all of us to be out there together.
Could be from somewhere.
No, why you?
It's queso.
I just want to know.
It's queso.
I thought she said queso.
No.
What?
No, it's queso.
No. But I remember. What were those games called? Fire? Was it fire tag?
We used to play like.
Who was the kids out back?
Oh my God!
And Patrick would knock up for you.
There was Patrick and
that was
Chloe.
That was his phrase.
Patrick,
can I knock up for
Chloe,
your
and
kids?
they had an older sister, and I used to say, "I'm gonna go knock up for Patrick."
Yeah.
Patrick and I got married when we were like 7 years old, so I think I'm legally married in like the state of New Jersey. He gave me a poo balloon. It was like the size of me, so I fell in love with it. I loved Winnie the Pooh as a kid.
Okay.
I hated having to kill him.
And there was
Dude, he's a nice kid.
There was he had a giant Winnie the Pooh balloon that his parents got him from somewhere, and I think I was just down there with probably mommy and mom and papa for the weekend. I looked at my mom and said, "Sorry, can I have a poo balloon?" And she said, "No." So I looked at him and said, "Can I have your poo balloon?" And he was like, "I guess if we're married."
Oh shit.
And so we got married for a Winnie the Pooh balloon.
Yeah, Patrick was a cool kid.
But there's a picture of me and Patrick and this giant Winnie the Pooh balloon, and you knew how much I love Winnie the Pooh because my T-shirt had Winnie the Pooh and Piglet and Tigger on it, so it made sense that I would marry the little kid next door for giant Winnie the Pooh balloon. I was a cheap bride back then.
So back to the weekend. Here's a crazy question I've been dying to ask, and it's not like, oh, it's a cool TMZ question. Who did the pots and pans? And I'm not teasing you. No, I'm being real honest. Like, so you did all the cooking, but were you the only person in charge of food like that?
Yeah.
So
was that on you?
Dishes.
Or pots and pans, not dishes, because they use paper plates, I assume.
Washing them?
Yeah.
No, I don't do that.
So what I'm saying is, did they just have to bring them back?
No, they were. The mess hall was like a huge kitchen.
Okay.
Walk in.
They actually had a mess hall.
Freezer. Yeah, it was
gas, electric.
Gas.
Nice.
Yeah. Natural resource.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And they would come and do the dishes
themselves.
Yeah.
Well, dude, they're paying her to
They
cook.
paid me to cook. That's it.
Not to, they might pay her extra, and then she can bring a dish for someone. Remember, like the deal that we're looking to do hypothetically at La Roca, you both know, with our girl, our friend. Mm-hmm. Like that, she is going to bring everybody from the back of the house except for the dishwasher. So if we do this deal, by the time this airs, we'll know a date that we'll do the dishes, but she is going to bring the cookers, the kitchen servers,
right.
A food runner to help acknowledge what, because our servers aren't going to know what every plate is.
Right.
That's one of my fears. So that's why I asked you about who was doing all of that back of house stuff for you.
No, I'm not. Well,
Good.
I wasn't.
I knew you did. Well, I knew.
I wasn't because
on for that.
no.
Yeah, but you've never been scared of it. I know.
Now, if I had say for instance, like, okay, I need to get this.
Yeah, I know you. I know you. I know.
As far as like once the job is complete, I'm either sit down.
That was awesome though.
No.
So what time did you cook Friday night dinner?
No.
What was your first meal?
Saturday and
Early or
Sunday.
dinner?
I did breakfast.
Saturday breakfast, were they all there? Or was
Once they wake up, we had a set time,
yeah.
for
What
time.
was breakfast? Do you remember?
Breakfast was, basic eggs, bacon.
So question, liquid eggs or regular eggs?
No, regular eggs. We beat
Man, that's expensive, and the work of just cracking the eggs. Yeah, especially if you were doing that by yourself too.
Allie, which is one of her older cousins, she would get up early in the morning. She'll come in with me just to
Help
make
you.
sure.
It's just that side.
Just
person.
to make sure I'm comfortable. I'm all
Sure.
right. Things like that. They knew it was my first time like being out in the wild, surviving.
Yeah.
So they were constantly checking in on me.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm worried more about the wild surviving.
It was the
Mecca than Mecca surviving the wild.
Yeah,
It's like,
I'm more
I got
worried
Espelone,
about
bitches.
Mecca does to
Step back.
herself than what could happen to Mecca in the wild. Because I've seen Mecca when she's had a rough night the night before, and I'm like, oof, girl, how we doing?
But no, really though, I had to really like pipe down, like, all right, relax. It's not like you haven't been out in the wild before, but having to like survive out there, like no service. And then I'm like, all right, you're from the generation that didn't have a
you're in the
service.
kitchen.
So relax. Like,
You're in the kitchen. Suddenly you go, well, this pilot went out on the fryer or the oven.
You know how to do
You
that.
can't. Yeah, but you can't even pull up YouTube to go. How do I relight this pilot?
well, I'm not a cave woman.
Bad example.
Honestly,
My
I
bad.
would be doing the caveman style.
I'm not the
Toss
cave
some rocks
woman.
together.
I'm like, if
Make
they're
a
420 family, can I have that, please? That light. But
That is so not you. You are so not over the top 420.
No, she's saying, can I have your lighter? I need to relight something.
like that. But
I'm sitting there going, no.
The kitchen, it had a lot of stuff already. Just because I'm guessing the people that was there, they would know, like, okay, I think they might need this. So it was like a torch sitting up there.
Oh my God, a torch.
Like,
The thought of you
wait,
with a torch is terrifying.
why?
Because you'd be the one having fun, being like, "Ooh, fire!"
Like a hand torch.
You and Christian with the fire sometimes is terrifying.
It was a hand, but all you do is pull a.
It would be like if I gave you a torch, you'd be sitting there going, "Ooh, fire!"
I would burn the whole street
Ooh,
down.
fire!
We had a
Accidentally.
flat top. I had the most fun on that. I did everything.
On the flat top or the
Fire.
Flat top. It reminded
What, like
me
a
of
flat top grill?
I had that.
Oh, you
it made me
missed that
comfortable.
much.
I was comfortable.
What did you do?
They had a flat top. I was comfortable, in the kitchen doing what I do. It was
We have a flat top, our grill.
Our grill.
So it made me feel at home.
yeah, maybe I was cool.
Ours,
Except you weren't at home with us.
is yours bigger?
No, it wasn't big.
No.
It was a little smaller, but it did.
I'm surprised. Yeah, was the mess hall eat in?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, like
Were you able to turn the pilots off on the flat top there?
no, yeah, everything was gas.
So therefore, it didn't remind you of LaRoe.
Oh,
Yeah, remember when we used to be able
the
to turn our
pilot stayed
off?
lit. Yeah, the pilot stayed
We
lit.
could turn
No.
our whole grill off and just call it a night.
Right.
Remember when PGW used to be called PGW? Now it's called PGW. Thank you, LaRocca.
Yeah, PG.
for your gas bill. Stupid.
Stupid.
We managed to get the one grill in probably the entire store that's never going to stay lit.
No, that was the very first problem I ever had 8 years ago at LaRocca, whatever it was.
The original.
Flat tops. I hired two old dudes. Loved those guys.
Jay and
Jay and the old man.
Rich.
Yes.
What did they
Is
do?
that it?
They would come in and fix my shit. They
They were
fix
okay.
my
man.
shoes.
They
They fixed all my stuff.
For us.
Let me tell you what,
Service.
the very first Father's Day, we're busy. Okay.
God, the day.
Wait, when's Father's Day?
June.
Yeah. We had just done Father's Day for the pandemic.
You really chopped it.
And all of a sudden, the walk-in just starts flooding. They're my guys to call. And I go upstairs. I got to go into the safe and go, I got to pay these guys because Venmo, Cash App, they weren't as relevant as they are nowadays.
Right.
Like, let me go into the safe and get money and make sure I have enough money to pay these guys. And the safe door breaks. It's the first time I ever cried at LaRocca. First time I ever cried. I just
you can get it
where
open.
You know where the safes are? Outside my office?
I don't know.
Right outside the office. And I just sat down and I go, what the F am I going to do? I was really upset because I'm bringing these guys in to fix my walk-in, which is gushing water.
Right.
And I'm going into the safe that I know the combination and the keypad breaks.
Yeah.
And I literally was just so upset. And they got there and Jay goes, Daddy. And he pulls the keypad thing out and he goes, he pulls the slot out. He goes, there's the keyhole. Where's the key? I go, I don't know, but let me go look. And I found the key right away.
Oh, that's good.
And that's how we got to the top safe. But anyway, I love those guys fixing our stuff.
Those safes, man.
Safes. So you did 50-some people-ish. How did you cook Sunday morning breakfast? Was that your last meal?
No, Monday was my last.
Oh, it was the holiday weekend.
Yeah. No, well, we only did the breakfast. We left like by noon.
Okay.
On Monday.
So did they bring all the food or did you have to pick up some of it that they bought or whatever? I mean, just curious how that
They
works.
brung, like I said, they brung most of, like produce, things like that.
I'm making sure that you didn't just skip out on work is where I'm going with all this interrogation. I really want to put this light right on your face going,
Oh, no.
where were you on the day of?
Got home from the wilderness in time to sit down and have a couple of drinks when she got home.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Like the 4-hour trip, her husband turned that into 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
He
So
was
you weren't
gunning
even...
it.
Not exactly
Gunning it.
Gilligan's Island, huh? That was
No, I really got home by like 3:30.
Like, you
we
weren't
left
even
like noon.
that deep into Virginia then, at least. Because, again,
We wasn't
trip to
past.
Valor.
We wasn't past Virginia Beach. I can tell you
Okay.
that much. So I drove down there before, and it took us literally 5 hours to get out
Yeah.
there. So we were a little like an hour ahead. So it only took us 4 hours going down there.
Okay.
So we just happened to leave at a good time Monday.
What did you have to bring?
The DC
What did
traffic
you
and all that.
have to bring? Like have to?
For my survival?
No,
Alcohol.
for cooking. No cooking.
Bottle
Ooh.
alone.
I just brought my knife kit because they told me that's it. They told me the kitchen had
But how do
everything.
you know you can trust people telling you? You know,
Because
well-
if it's not there, you just can't. Don't make what you think you can make.
I just winged it.
did you bring Espolone?
I did.
Really?
I did.
Cap here and there.
Where's that souvenir bottle?
Probably in they trash. Where I left
She
it.
threw it in some lake Friday night going.
I didn't make it to the lake
is-
though. I didn't.
Message in the bottle in there. It's in the lake. Mecca was here.
Sting, you can see Sting sitting on the edge of a lake with a bottle of Espolone going, message in the bottle.
No, it's Michael Myers sitting on the edge of the lake with it.
I'm glad I'm not there no
Of the
more.
police
Oh my
sang.
goodness.
Yeah, but it's Michael Myers.
Yeah, that'd be more funny. Really.
Shit. That's see, those are the things I didn't want to think about while I was out there. That's why every night I got to my cabin, I changed my clothes, lit my citronella candles, LED. They lit up different colors, and I set one on the top, one to the bottom.
She needed her night lights.
It was a taste.
Hey, son,
that was the
didn't
only
escape the
thing I
basement the whole time you were gone?
Kason was with my sister.
No, don't lie to
I was
me.
about to say, Case,
We
I'm
checked.
probably having the time of his life.
We called
Okay, so
CPS.
wait, listen. So all
did I
all
get
these
custody
days
the
I'm
weekend?
going through it. I'm running off.
Cause you're still my daughter.
He could have been.
He didn't even care. He didn't even care. Okay.
I know he didn't care.
He didn't even care. I'm like,
He's out there getting spoiled rotten.
he like, okay, mom, I know.
TikTok
I love
live
you
the whole
too.
time.
I love you too. Okay, I know you said you don't have any service. It's fine.
Leave me alone, Mom.
Yeah, leave me alone. Because he made a deal with your sister going, look, I'll be back Sunday.
I didn't call him back.
No, I know. Because
Ever.
he told your sister, it's Friday night.
He hurt my
Back
feelings.
Sunday.
He hurt.
If my mom calls, tell her I'm asleep.
See, Mecca, you always swear like, oh no, he's not a mama's boy. He's not a total mama's boy. He's a mama's boy, and you want him to be a mama's boy.
You let him be a mama's
thrive on
boy.
him being a mama's.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
thrive
I just felt he thought more of me being away. I felt he thought more of me being away than just, all right, mom, you said you're not getting any service. It's fine.
Well, he was with people he was having fun with.
By the way, it's so funny. Just a quick interruption, because that's how I do, because squirrel. And by the way, in the last podcast, you called squirrel on me once or twice.
Yeah, because
Hey,
we do it
Wheatley,
behind your
big
back
shout out to
together.
Wheatley. We had an argument today. Things happen. we'll get over it. Miller Lite, how you doing?
Yeah, we call squirrel on you behind your back at work. We'll all be mid-conversation together, and you'll be like, wait, what? And
I
we'll
wore a
look at each other and go,
shirt last week that even said squirrel on it.
I was in such a bad mood, and you were like, I'm wearing this shirt to make you happier. And I was like, I don't care.
Oh, wow. It didn't even
It
work.
didn't work. It was like an AC/DC shirt, the band, but it said ADHD.
Oh,
A
shit.
squirrel just ran by or something.
Oh, look, a squirrel. Oh, no, it was highway to, oh, look, a squirrel.
Like it was a perfect shirt for me.
But I was so tired, and I was just so over life and the world. And he's like, I wear this to make you happy. And I was like, I don't care, and I'm not.
That's,
Take your shirt.
wow. The minute he
Looking back,
goes out the
I
way.
think I'm actually, is that one of the shirts I bought you? Because we used to
No,
love.
I bought this one. I remember buying it. I
That
bought it.
dates back to the days when Target had the funny shirt.
No, here's what I bought. I bought it from Amazon.
They
I
did
bought,
have the shirts back.
I've had my shot. You know, it's like a shot or 1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila floor with a bunch of shots on the floor.
No.
I would walk up and down the street, people going, I love your shirts. I'm like, well, come into our business because we're even funnier.
But that ADHD shirt dates back to the band days. There are pictures of the band playing.
It's been washed.
Yes, but that's how. So that.
Are you
shirt is
sure?
not
You
Amazon.
said yes.
No.
Do you think it has been?
Yes.
I was wearing it. I wasn't sure.
Yes, that shirt is. No, that shirt
I didn't know
is
what
from,
the smell was.
that shirt is from Target.
Dylan was here that night. I'm like, I wasn't sure.
That shirt is from when Target still had like cool stuff, like funny stuff.
right.
I used to wear band shirts from
Yeah,
Target.
we used to get a lot of good stuff from Target. And now you walk into Target and everything is like prep your flannel, and you walk into the women's department and it looks like you just walked out of Little House on the Prairie.
Or the t-shirts
Like
are just
everything looks
graphic,
Amish.
just really
I'm
graphic.
like, what are we doing here? What is that? I'm not.
I could also buy shit in that store in the mall when I was in my 40s, even
Hot
when I was in my
Topic.
50s. What was it?
Hot Topic.
That's
Yeah.
my
And
shit.
people were like, oh, that band's cool looking.
I love
And I'm
Hot
sitting going,
Topics. That
no, I'm
used
going to
be
wear
my
it once, get it all sweaty, and then give it to one of my grandkids.
He used to come home with bags of shirts and go, you want to take the sleeves off these? Mm-hmm. I'd be like, God,
Hot
give me
Topics got the best.
I'd say, give me the manicure scissors. Like, I'd be sitting there cutting threads.
Don't forget Spencer's.
Cutting. Oh, we
I
well, we
love
would go a
Spencer's,
little bit
yes.
further to go to Spencer's. But
Yeah.
Hot Topic and Target were in the same mall.
Okay.
So if you didn't find something
You
you liked
raised
at
an
one or
immature
the other,
father. That's your problem.
God,
You should have done a better job of raising me.
where did I go wrong?
In a lot of areas.
Dude, there's a fork left, a fork right. Oh my God. Even Mecca's telling you in a lot of areas. I'm flawed.
Squirrel.
What were we talking about? Phillies are winning. They won the first game of the doubleheader today.
No, I can't.
And then they lost the second
All right.
game, I
I
believe.
was trying to hold it, but I really can't no more. I got to go to the bathroom.
Oh, here we go. This is our favorite part of the show. We'll wait for you, Mecca. No. We're not going to say anything while you're
Going
gone.
to have me in here laughing?
Oh,
It's not
this
going to
is
work.
Not end well.
Come on, you know, squirrel. You and I will look at each other in the kitchen and go, squirrel.
So in the kitchen the other day, I was in there and I was looking at the flooring. And then I'm like, what was she talking about? Yeah.
There's an unlocked one.
Oh, no, you're special, Mecca. You don't need a key.
How special am I?
No, we're locking her out. Oh, we're locking her out. Okay. Oh, you didn't tell her to take the key? Now she's going to have to walk back.
No, there's
Go.
an unlocked one.
Is there really?
Yeah, she
Where's
just
the
has to-
unlocked one?
Right next to the locked one.
Are you kidding me? How come nobody told Turi that? She was trying to go to the bathroom with all of us. God, I love her.
That was for not
Well, that was funny, though.
squirrel.
And how you doing? Go Flyers. Flyers hired. Rick Taco. Wait, squirrel what? Go Eagles.
Wait, taca. What's the Spanish word for squirrel? I believe it's taca.
Do you know that who's in our bar right now? Gavin.
Tico. It's
You know,
Tico.
you know Gavin knows how to speak Spanish?
I heard that conversation.
That was weird. I have trouble
Gavin
with
speaks
English,
soul.
and I kind of thought he had trouble with English.
He's just quiet.
No, he's got troubles with English. I'm just kidding.
Leave
He's
Gavin.
a St. Joe grad.
Yeah.
I love
he's
Gavin.
smart.
Well, he's still at La Roca.
Harry, fix your face.
Oh, that's not going to end well. So that's not going to end well. Let's talk about you. How you doing?
Great.
We've been sick all week.
I've been up for, I don't know how many hours.
Your dog is pissing me off.
15 hours at this point.
I put your dog up for adoption.
Yeah, okay. As if you could ever do that. As he comes in and just sits on your foot. Daddy, are you feeling okay?
What's wrong with that?
Or he comes and he sits next to you as I'm scolding him for not eating his dinner. I'm just going to go sit next to my dad. Yell at me now.
Apparently today I might have been asleep
What, during his dinner? No, we were
in the recliner,
time.
and he was asleep on my lap when Michelle came.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was Balor Appreciation Day today.
Oh, yeah. Cleaners,
Cleaners, Michelle, you.
me home. He hasn't seen you yet.
No, he got off the couch this morning. Mom is like, right, he can wait until I get home to go out. I said, if he's this perky and awake at 7:15 in the morning and prancing at the door,
No, he was
He needs
yelling
to go
outside
out.
your door last night
I slept right through it.
2:30. Oh, I didn't.
That's how.
Talking about-
But that's what this. That.
But I'm NyQuil'd out. I'm, that's all it was NyQuil.
I don't sleep through the night. You know I don't sleep through the night.
I don't sleep through it.
I haven't slept through the night probably since I was an infant. And last night, this morning, I woke up in the same position I went to sleep in. That's how you know I slept through the night.
How do you know what position you fell asleep in?
Because I have a fleece blanket that I put on my pillow, and I know I wind up swatting it off in my sleep sometimes. It was still on the pillow. I was still holding the blanket. My alarm went off behind my back, and I was like, oh.
I don't have cameras in your room because I really only like to
That's
watch the
creepy.
dog on cameras.
Well,
He's so cute.
that doesn't sound great.
But he's so cute.
Still doesn't sound great.
He is.
I
Well, that's what I was saying. So you were saying you only drove 4 hours?
I killed him the other day.
But I drove 6 hours into Virginia to pick him up.
Okay.
It was a 12-hour round trip.
Yeah, explain that little trip with Balor. You left with who? What was?
I left with
What was her
Sharon.
name? Sharon.
Sharon. She
Sharon.
was one of the founding members of a Siberian Husky only dog rescue.
Former
And-
state trooper.
yes, former state trooper. She worked for
TSA.
no. She worked on the boats. It was either
Oh, I thought it was
DEA, like a drug and a
Yeah.
food and drug administration, checking everything that came in on boats.
Right.
And let me adopt a dog.
And before she
Are
was
you kidding me?
before she was a police officer and before she did that, she was Army. So like she had this whole background. She was great. We had gotten Rascal from this Siberian Husky Rescue, Northern Exposure Siberian Husky Rescue. We had gotten Rascal and we didn't have Rascal as long as we would like. And about
Fuck you, cancer.
Yeah.
Love you, rah-rah.
a month after we lost Rara, I emailed them. I said, you have a dog that's up for adoption. You know, our house is really quiet since we lost Rara. We're not used to not having the pitter patter of paws, and we're not used to having someone to greet us at the door, and we're not used to having, someone that not used to not having someone to wake us up at 3 a.m. because they want to go outside out of nowhere.
Right.
And they had a 6-month-old red Siberian Husky up for adoption. His name was Parker. And he was found abandoned in a dog park tied to a tree. Someone went in the dead of night to this dog park and tied him to the tree. And I have thought about it after the fact. And honestly, it was a pretty humane way to abandon a dog in a dog park where a bunch of people are going to go.
A Philadelphia Eagle did that about 10 years ago.
Well,
Ask how that ended up for him.
Well, I mean, at least
Out of the league.
someone didn't, leave him in an abandoned house where he
I don't know if it
couldn't
was
get
an
out.
eagle.
At least someone didn't leave him in an abandoned apartment where he couldn't get out.
No,
They
yeah.
left him somewhere where he would be found
Yeah.
and very quickly.
Right.
But I said to them, I was like, I want this dog. I don't care what you say. I want this dog. And they said, we don't care how much you want this dog. You can't have him. And they had a bunch of rules in place, and I respect them now. He was a 6-month-old. He needed a lot of room to run and 6-foot fence and these things. And they said, well, you can't have this dog, but there's a dog who's on doggy death row. He's accused of killing a goat on a farm.
He had a rap name.
I said, show me.
Goat face killer.
I said, show me the
Not goat face killer.
Goat face killer.
He killed a goat.
He was accused of killing a goat on a farm.
That's my boy. He's a goat face killer.
They said
he has a rap song too.
in his final hours.
I'll tell you about that in a minute.
In his final hours, the shelter was given approval to get him into a rescue.
Okay.
So Nesher immediately stepped in and said, we're taking him into rescue. So he was saved in his final hours. And Nesher reached out to me and said, listen, you don't have to commit to this dog. All we're saying is we're going to go get him. Maybe you should foster him, see if you're going to like him. He and I take one look at the picture of this dog and say, nope, he's coming home with us.
Yep, he's ours.
He's ours. Those big blue eyes that he had, the masked face, and he had a stare that stared right through you.
Goat face killer. He raps. Oh my God, he raps.
The rescue's saying this. He was found with no blood on him. There's no proof that he killed.
If you've ever heard of Eminem, the Siberian St. Bernard, Balor raps so much better than Eminem, the St. Bernard.
Okay. Well, you know what?
Oh, he's a goat face killer.
Virginia, livestock is property.
He killed a goat. So here's the story. Killed a goat. Here's the way I like to tell it.
Okay.
Farmer could have killed him. They have the right down there. A dog kills your livestock or whatever. You can put whatever down, a wolf, whatever it is. And he just said, no, I'm going to give him to a dog rescue. And we couldn't rescue him within a state, or right? Something like that. States couldn't touch.
He wasn't allowed to be rescued into Virginia or a state that bordered
he's missing part of his ear.
I had to sign a waiver to say I would never bring him back to Virginia or a state that bordered Virginia.
They prosecuted the dog.
Yep. He's arrested for murder.
Goat face killer. Yo, Snoop got off. Balor got off.
Why not?
Yo,
there was no evidence.
Murder was the case.
Killed the goat.
Balor shows up and he walks out of the car. He goes, murder was the case that they gave me. I'm like, he sounds just like Snoop. Just like Snoop. I was like, wow.
He walked up just like that.
Yo, dude, he had a beads on. He's like, murder was the case that they gave me. Like a Siberian Husky. Really cute, though. Yeah. He slept in that net on the way home. What was it, 6 hours? Your ride?
Our ride back was a little more than 6 hours because we got stuck in D.C.
I miss Everett, but I wouldn't drive Everett 6 hours to bring him back to La Roca.
Nice.
Let's name people that we wouldn't drive 6 hours back to La Roca. How about Matt? Matt can't count 6 hours.
That's
crazy, Matt.
Pretty fucked.
Let's just keep going.
It's pretty fucked up.
Let's just keep going.
I'm stay silent because I'm the one.
Give me a name.
Persecuted.
Somebody give me a name, and I'll give you a quick story.
Give one, Mecca.
Don't say Rita. I love Rita.
No.
Rita. No, you know what? I wasn't going to do that. Rita, possibly the smallest person who's ever worked in my kitchen. Am I right about that?
Most terrifying too.
Yes. Yeah.
Beat that bitch's ass.
Okay.
Speaking of beat that bitch's ass, did you hear about this? The Secret Service 3 days ago outside of Obama's house? The video. Oh, there's a video. 2 women in the Secret Service. One gets on the radio and goes, get me some backup before I beat this bitch's ass. And then you see the video of the Secret Service fighting outside of Obama's home.
Oh, shit.
No lie. This is God's honest truth.
I didn't see
I think it was the 26th or 7th.
I wonder what it was over.
Well, so let's not go there, but I'll be the bad guy here. How about DEI? And I don't mean to be the bad guy. Oh, get mad at me, you two. What I'm saying is, how about the head of the Secret Service? If there were, and again, I am not a politic guy. I'm not going to ever talk about it. There was something that happened. Trump, maybe there was a shot at him. Blah, 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 and all of it done. There it is. And that was the fight. I was not lying. Top story on TMZ.
Wow.
Bitch said, give me some backup before I whoop this girl's ass. Let's see if we can find the dialogue. Oh, no. I'm not kidding you. That's what she said. Does it say there? No, it was the 21st. Oh, so almost a week ago. So they kept that secret for a little bit.
They got suspended.
I mean, it's not like we're still telling people Lee Harvey Oswald killed Kennedy like that happened, or like we went to the moon. Wait, this isn't the conspiracy podcast? My bad.
Not
homie.
tonight.
I really want to do a conspiracy podcast.
That'll be
Me and Sean were going to do a mob podcast. Have you heard about Skinny Joey Steaks? Skinny Joey Morlino, Philadelphia mob.
Right.
He's blowing up in Philly right now.
that cheesesteak.
His cheesesteak. They're coming down out of New York. Pat's and Geno's are always going to be there. But now you got Skinny Joey's. I would like
I
to try
pass it almost every day.
Really? The rolls look really good.
Yeah.
And to me, that's where a cheesesteak starts. Literally is the roll.
Well,
You can't put it on just bread. Amoroso's great bread. Blah, 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 blah. Skinny Joey. Yo, me and Sean, that's what we were going to do a podcast about. Philly mob movies. We were going to talk about Blow, the movie Blow.
it's classic.
Well, hear a crazy thing? Going off topic. I love this. HBO just came out over the weekend with a 2-part documentary. I said it. About Paul Rubens. Do you know who Paul Rubens is? Pee Wee fucking Herman.
Yeah.
It is so cool. I only saw the second half of part 2, which is really what I wanted to see. I don't need to see how he made his career, how he came up. I knew he came up in a comedy troupe out of California. Mm-hmm. Here's a little known fact. Pee Wee's Playhouse, he didn't invent that by himself. Remember Phil Hartman from Saturday Night Live?
Yeah.
Phil Hartman helped him invent that.
Yeah, let me say.
And they talked about this on the podcast. This was so cool about Pee Wee. I don't know why I thought about this, the cheesesteak thing, the whatever. It'll come to me. But when he got caught in the movie theater, remember that? He was ruined because he was a straight, I don't even know if he knew he was gay at that moment. He knew he was bi at least. But they labeled him a pedophile.
Right. Yes, they did.
And oh my God, the heartbreak in this guy's life. And you hear him, and I go, nah, he's not a pedophile. I don't believe it for a second. Yeah, he did something outside of his box, whatever. And then I see this, and I was just so in love. Paul Rubens. I don't even. When does he die? Can you guys read that?
July 30th, 2023.
Okay, so a couple years now. Mm-hmm. So we're watching this thing, and I didn't know he was dead. This documentary is so, I said twice in a row, is so good because you see him talking to the camera like me to you.
Right.
And what you don't know is he wasn't sure if he wanted it out, so it's probably 3 or 4 years old. And then he died. I don't know if he died of cancer, and I don't want to get weird and say HIV or whatever. He was with an actress that I love, Debbie Mazar, for years. And they weren't boyfriend, girlfriend. They were friends. And she was trying to help with his image. Again, I don't know why I thought about Paul Rubens while we were talking. But what a great show that was.
Played in Blow.
And I Blow, that's what it was.
Played in Blow.
He played the hairdresser.
Derek Farrell.
Selling wheat.
Derek Farrell.
And he hooked him up. He hooked George Young up with the guy who ran the islands. Uh-huh. And then that guy hooked him up with Pablo. Uh-huh. Oh my God. And he it was so cool that he was on the other night. And I was watching that. It was late Sunday, so I didn't get to even talk to you about it. And I don't know why I thought about it now, but what a cool thing.
Let me tell you, right? That Pee Wee Herman show is like the epitome almost of my childhood with my name. Because remember the scene when he would come in and talk to the genie, and the genie would go, Mecca like a high, Mecca hiney ho. Mecca like a high, Mecca shiny ho.
Oh,
Mullah, Mecca, mullah.
I hear it.
Oh, I used to get teased so badly. Like, every time a person,
right in that ballpark.
every time someone came up and met me, they like, oh, Mecca like a high, Mecca hiney ho. Mecca like a high, Mecca shiny ho.
Playhouse fan, or was that a little bit older than you? But a little bit older than her.
Way before.
That was yeah.
But
That
what a shame that was. And again, I don't know.
No.
Yeah, but what a cool guy. And then he was in that movie Blow, and that's one of my favorite movies. Blow. George Young, what a great story.
Yes, there it is, the genie. Mecca like a high Mecca.
Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp. I love the trial with Amber Heard. I watched it all the time. When they say to him, well, you're bigger than her, aren't you? And he looks over and he goes, not really. You know, in his Johnny Depp voice, I'm going, I'm still kind of hot for him. Like, I get it. Well, I have a Johnny Depp connection.
From
Holly
21 Jump Street.
I do.
Days.
Do you know who Holly Robinson is?
Yes, 21 Jump Street days.
We were friends. She would sing with me and Russell in my band. Married Rodney Peete of the Eagles.
Okay.
And she is so beautiful to this day. She is still such a good-looking, aged woman. Rodney Peete caught a foul ball the other night. It might have been last year, actually, at a baseball game. So nonchalantly that it made all of ESPN. It made all Sports Center. Like it was out. Boom, and I'm with my wife, Holly Robinson. But Johnny Depp, that movie Blow, Johnny Depp, the greatest character actor of real actors. He played Donnie Brasco. That was real.
Can't forget Edward Scissorhands.
Edward Scissorhands, oh my God.
That was his breakthrough.
How about the joke that I heard the other night? The guy goes, Pee Wee Herman dresses up as Edward Scissorhands in an adult movie. And I'm going, oh. I don't know if you just caught that, but I was like, that was the scariest part of the HBO. Johnny Depp, Public Enemies. Dude, he plays great real people. George Young was his best portrayal. I love the movie Blow.
And Blow, yeah.
Yeah. You know, the whole Pablo thing. John, just so good. Love that movie. But Pee Wee, I never knew some of the stuff that I knew, and he just died unhappy, labeled as a pedophile. And you just listen to him and you go, you know what? Sometimes there's gray area. I don't believe for a second this guy was a pedophile.
I don't believe
he just did something stupid, got caught, whatever. And because he did a kids show, it just was the connotation.
Right.
Yeah.
They just put one thing with another.
Loved him.
Try to make some sense out of it.
You know what I don't hear about anymore is Barney, the purple dinosaur.
Barney stopped existing a long time ago.
Why? Was there a reason? Did he do something wrong? Did he molest somebody or some Fred Flintstone?
I mean, I think his audience grew up. The generation of his audience grew up.
So did Bugs Bunny.
But the audience that loved Barney liked the idea of a purple dinosaur in the middle of real kids. The next generation wanted all animated.
Right, and the thought is just
it's the same reason.
You know, that's
Elmo,
a grown person in that suit after a while.
It's the same reason. Like Elmo still exists, and Cookie Monster still exists, and Big Bird still exists, but Sesame Street doesn't really exist because a real kid in the middle of all these Muppets.
Yeah.
Like, what am I watching?
Once the generation
Kids don't
grows
like
up,
anymore. They like the all animated Elmo. They like the all animated.
Did you ever watch Dinosaurs? Is that what it was called back in the day? Your older sister loved that
movie.
show.
The movie Dinosaurs.
No, it was a weekly show.
A sitcom. I'm gonna give you another one.
Baby. There was a baby, and it was called Baby for some reason.
Yeah, not the mama.
Not the mama, exactly.
I'm gonna give you another one.
Not the mama.
Hey Mecca, are you related to the Sinclairs? You got a brother named Robbie?
Wait, what is that?
That was their last name.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that was another childhood disgrace.
Oh my God.
No.
Mecca, are you related to the Sinclairs? You have a brother named Robbie?
You want my childhood? You want to be adopted at not a birth age? Glasses, red hair, freckles, one leg longer than the other? Yeah, and you're not cool when you're born. Like, literally. Like, I didn't have any ink. But everyone looked at my forehead and said, oh, that baby's not cool.
That thing is ugly. Not the mama.
You're getting a little crazy.
Not the mama, not the
Oh, I thought she was talking about me.
Oh, no.
Now I know I wasn't adopted. Hey, Barbara Streisand, my birth canal.
Not the mama.
Mama.
You do that one more time, and I'm going to throw you across the room.
The Sinclairs.
I haven't even thought about that show in a while. That was the Sinclairs.
They were the Sinclairs.
Wow. Yeah, luckily there was no show ever with the Truitts.
Before my time.
No show ever back then. What was your favorite show growing up?
I had a few. We had the best like sitcoms back in the day, like in the 80s and
Were you
early
allowed to
90s.
watch TV growing up? Like full on TV?
No, I really was because we had cable in the in the 80s. Yeah, we had cable in the 80s, so I was part of that whole MTV breakthrough thing.
I didn't have cable, so yeah.
I got a chance to witness all of that, like the whole MTV thing unfolding when at one point they didn't play any black artists on MTV.
Of course not.
You know what I mean? So I was there. I saw that. Like,
Who was first?
how you think I know all that?
Will
Those
Smith
rock.
and Fresh
When you
Prince?
bring up rock music, how you think I remember all that stuff? Because I used to see it on MTV
Who
all
was
the
first?
time.
Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff? Who do you think was first?
Michael Jackson.
Oh, of course. Of course. Yeah, but then Summertime.
Will Smith.
At some point when they came out,
hip hop. Because you got Run DMC. Don't forget Run DMC
with Aerosmith.
And Aerosmith did the cross. That was they was breaking the barrier.
That was first.
Yeah, they were breaking.
I was
the
still
barrier
overseas during that.
Yeah,
I remember that. Oh, you're right. You're right, dude. You know that they came out with Who Killed? What's his name? Is it Jazzy Jeff? Whichever one.
From the
and it finally came out like recently, like in the last
Jam
year or so,
Master Jay.
where they show the whole diagram of how he was over a drug deal.
A friend of his, actually, and his son.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And like a drug deal. It's just horrible.
Terrible.
One of the most underrated groups of all time.
I agree.
And people, they could have been bigger. I think they would have been for forever, even though they weren't young when they hit it. What they hit it with? Now I know Walk This Way was. Oh my God, I can think of all that stuff back in the day because I loved it. Back in the day with Houdini. Remember RFTD, Ready for the World? Oh,
Sheila. From Crush Groove, I was thinking that.
Crush Groove.
I was thinking that. Crush Groove.
The Barge back in the day.
The Barges.
Dude, they're all in jail. So many of those are in jail.
Their story is.
Those family bands, Jet.
Oh, Jet.
Yeah. You had some good ones back then, but nothing could ever touch people like Niles Rodgers. Chic, to me, you had those guys who became Daft Punk, played for David Bowie, played for all of these people.
Mm-hmm.
And that
David Bowie had his hands in a lot of the music industry.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I just found that out.
Because he's such a good guitarist, and he has that chill vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not full of himself. He wrote like Let's Dance for Bowie. All of that little guitar thing, that's all Chic. Whatever. I grew up with that taste of honey, Chic.
I found 70s. Out that he was the one that discovered your boy, Luther.
Dude, that's my oh my God, Luther. One of the greatest vocalists of all time. She was not a boy band girl, but she liked which one was yours? Not Backstreet.
I was more Backstreet.
Was it Backstreet? Your
Kids on the Block?
sisters were New Kids.
New Kids on the Block.
No,
you wasn't.
You wasn't. I was Backstreet because that's what they were. That wasn't my time. I was Backstreet Boys. Probably became big in '99.
Right.
I was 5 years old.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I wasn't a boy band kid. It was just, this is what my sisters are listening to.
Okay.
This is what I like. And I think they tended to lean more Backstreet. And I think, as you know, the twin rivalry will have it, they then ultimately picked different boy bands.
Okay.
So we went with that way. But I was always Backstreet. I've seen them in concert.
I personally love 98 Degrees. Do you know why?
No, that's something.
There's a guy named Nick Lachey. There's a guy named Nick Lachey, 98 Degrees.
Oh, I remember Nick Lachey.
Yeah, we were going to be partners on a pot farm in Ohio. And then Ohio, the day of the voting to pass, this is a true story, to pass the, not medical, what do you call it, recreational bill, they got to the steps in Ohio. I think it was like Bill 121. Because I'm just like, there
But
goes
this
all my
was
money.
when he was
This is
still
the
married
truth.
to
Jessica Simpson. It was just after her with her Buffalo Wings issues. You remember that?
Chicken of the Sea.
Yes. Oh my God, you know. So this is like 2018 or 19 when Ohio, the day of the voting, as Pennsylvania just did a couple weeks ago, whereas they didn't vote. They didn't vote it down in PA. They didn't vote. Mm-hmm. And that's what they did in Ohio. They didn't vote for medical or recreational. And we were looking at a farm, 120-acre farm, and all we were going to do was grow. And there was 5 of us. And that was going to be the rest of my life, hopefully, as far as business goes. You know what I mean? And imagine building barns, playing in rock bands to your friends, and Nick Lachey of 98 Degrees is singing, "Welcome to the Jungle."
Oh, shit, really?
Like, it would have just been so funny. We didn't get it that far because stupid laws. They didn't want to vote.
They were that like talented like that?
Who was?
98 Degrees.
No, Nick Lachey was going to be my business partner, though. No, they were talented. They were boy bands. They were
Definitely boy.
trafficked. Who was that guy? Lou Pearlman. Oh, my God. I remember his name. Lou Pearlman. All those bands. Who's the kid who died? Is Carter.
Aaron Carter.
Aaron Carter.
His brother. Nick was
brother.
They're all
Right.
They're all from Lou Pearlman. And again, I always say allegedly on this podcast, even when we had Enrique on last week. But some of these things are signed. They signed, the lawsuits. Lou Pearlman clearly stole all their money. All these boy bands. You know who Lou Pearlman was?
No.
Big fat. Not that that's an issue. Jewish dude who was white. You saw a Straight Outta Compton.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the white dude
Yeah.
who was in it with Ice Cube? No. Easy. He was
I
in-
can't think
yeah.
of his name off the top.
That guy is the one who ruined NWA
Mm-hmm.
because he was going, he just wanted his cut.
Yeah.
Lou Pearlman was kind of the same way.
Oh, wow.
He was a businessman. And, well, this is on the surface, but this is what's really, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So, bottom line is, I was hoping to play. Imagine me doing an acoustic set at La Roca with Nick Lachey of 98 Degrees because we're smoked out of our minds because we own a pot farm out in Ohio. Now here I am with a tequila farm in Manayunk.
Wow.
Yeah, we got the most tequila.
That would have been decent.
It would have been. And Pennsylvania didn't vote, so now I can't even find a local musician. It is what it is. What did I see you pour? Did you guys pour shots for
No,
yourselves?
Mecca wanted
and leave
a
me
shot.
out?
Do you want one?
Do I
Take
want
the, she's not impressed. You know?
So now
Here, pass that to your boss.
we're hit up with a really cool thing.
Your boss.
Let's talk about our friend.
go, boss.
And I don't know if this will become a short or whatever, but a big shout out to our girl, Fresh Eats, her husband, Daryl. We are looking to possibly do a La Roca takeover. The last time we had a La Roca takeover was July 23rd, 2022. And that was Penn State and Terramana took over La Roca. Now we're looking to do, and you are my cook of all cooks. You're my Mecca of all Meccas. We're looking to do soul food out of our place. How do you think that will vibe if we tell people in advance enough? Because we're going to get people upset that are not paying attention to our stupid social media, and I don't blame them, that are going to come in going, I want a crunch wrap. I want Mecca's Berea tacos. I want Katelyn's carne asada. And we're going to have soul food for the entire day. We're going to make it R&B Soul Day is what we're going to call it.
Okay.
And I'm going to have 3 R&B DJs that are going to play 4-hour sets each. So all day long, we'll have live DJ music, lots of giveaways. I don't think any restaurant in Manayunk has ever tried something like
I
this.
don't believe so.
What's your first impression? Because you're going to be the only one that I'm going to ask to work, because they're going to take over the kitchen. They're going to bring in their own people, but I'm going to want one of us to just be there and say, oh no, it lights this way, or turn it up or turn it down. And you've met her, and Katelyn loves her and I love her. I kind of am excited about it. You know, you and I talked about it.
No, it's different.
Something different that Manayunk hasn't tried.
Right.
Soul food. Is there any soul food places in Manayunk do we know of?
I don't
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Not that I know. And I've looked, and I've tried to look to see if people are doing specials or anything like that. So here we go again, stepping out of the box, and I'm a little unsure of my landing with my foot, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna make it about music. We've had some great R&B bands that play, and that is partly the plan. Again, out front, drawing people in, just our vibe. But it's gonna be.
Are you bringing your jazz band?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. Do you know Derek got married?
No.
He didn't tell us because he didn't want to invite us to the wedding. But I'm over it.
They had a micro wedding.
What's that?
Only like 10 people invited.
Do you have to leave them
The
in
one
5
that
minutes after?
came past that day with the lady with him?
Yeah,
hell's
That's
a
his,
micro
that was his
wedding?
wife.
It was
Okay.
really, I think like just their like parents and like a best man and maid of honor to sign the paperwork.
So why wasn't I there?
Because who are you in that?
Me.
Again, but you're not one of his parents, and you're probably one of his best man.
Next.
Exactly.
Big shout out to Jen and Derek. Congratulations. We're so happy that you guys married, because I was tired of him being that illegitimate, side piece, Derek, blah, blah, blah. Derek's actually been our band, 2020?
To Derek and
Derek and Jen.
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 Yeah. Cheers. We love yous. No, but I want to have them back. Lisa, the R&B band that we always have
Yeah.
Thursdays. Yeah, we're going to do this whole, R&B Soul Day.
Fucking air out here.
We're just going to do something different. You know what I mean?
No, I like the idea. It's different.
I think I want to go
Outside of the
live.
box, definitely.
Yeah.
But I think you'll be safe. Honestly. I think
So
you'll be safe.
let's get careful here. Let's step over the line of, oh shit, I can't believe they're going to talk about that. Some people are going to find this outside of their comfort zone as far as race.
Of course.
And I don't mean to say this bad. I'm talking about white people.
You're being realistic.
I just am. But I don't cater to a certain gender, race, height. You guys know. You guys made fun of me on one of the podcasts. When I'm going to hire you, I need you to blah, 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 blah. And the third thing is always...
Be a good person.
you guys did it in sync the last podcast. But that's truly who we are. We are, I got to tell you, we've been to a bunch of other places on the street. I'm very proud of our LGBTQ-ness, if that's a word.
Her
Right.
alphabet.
What's the right
We're
word?
like an alphabet
Appropriation.
soup. We're
That's a good one.
DEI, we're POC, we're LGBTQ plus whatever.
How are we DEI?
I mean, diversity, equity, and
DOE.
inclusion. I mean,
DOE.
we're very diverse. We have females, we have women, we have.
We are a place we don't see age,
The middle.
color, sex. I try not to. And again, it falls back on me, and I get that. And I've hired everybody, and I'm proud of that, which again leads back to the joke of you got to be on time,
Right.
you got to be clean, and you got to
Right.
be
A really cool person.
yeah. And it's true though, because we have a young person who we just shouted out a birthday to. Can we shout him out right now real fast?
Let's
Is that
go.
cool?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Christian. Yeah, but Christian is a nice young person.
See,
And we love Christian. We effing love you. And he's been here almost a year, I think. I'm not quite sure.
a year in
And
the
Christian is a young person who is finding their own way. And I try not to say finding his own way, finding her own way, finding their own way. Christian is a Hello Kitty kind of person.
Yes, he is.
When we gave him the gifts that she picked out the other day, and she made very clear that this was from you as well. That we get the Hello Kitty cup, and he was just like
Yeah, I sent
But
you a
again,
picture.
so I don't think we're DEI. I don't think we're
Diversity, equity, inclusion. We're very diverse. We're
DOE.
very equitable. We're
Yeah.
inclusive. I mean, that's
doesn't
what,
DEI. I mean, though, that I'm trying
it doesn't
to
have to though.
balance it out with men, women,
It
or
doesn't-
shot classes or whatever.
It doesn't have to. I think DI just really means like you're
Diverse,
equitable and you're
right.
inclusive and you're
What was
diverse.
the woman who headed it up? Not trying to get crazy. The Secret Service, when that happened, when the shot rang out on the guy who was running for president, the current president, and she
That was
resigned, and she needed to, because I watched her hearing and her answers were beyond stupid. No, as a person, they were just beyond stupid. You're the head of the Secret Service. You should have done better. And this isn't political. So what I'm saying is, how do you know I am not DEI? And I know I'm not.
We're not.
But Mecca's been here for years, and she's our girl, my girl, our friend, our person. I shouldn't say my girl, our girl. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say our woman, our person. I'm old school. I'm really old and old school. So I'm out of bounds at times. I call certain people girls and guys when they don't want to be called girls and guys at times.
Okay, but here's the thing. To have a workplace that is DEI inclusive doesn't mean you are going out of your way to have a workplace that is DEI inclusive. We just naturally are, and that's what we're saying. We're just
Right.
one of those places. We're diverse. We have people of different colors,
Yeah.
DEI
different
inclusive,
ages.
is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, okay.
That's what we've been saying.
yeah.
That's what we've been saying. And you
Well,
don't
put the word inclusive
Yes, but
afterwards.
you-
inclusive and
know.
we treat them
Yes,
appropriately.
but here's,
And we do, I
it's
feel.
understand what I'm saying?
diversity, equity, inclusion. I don't have to put inclusive at the end because inclusion is what that means. We are diverse and we are equitable without ever going out of our way to be that.
Right.
You know what we're not, which is
We don't
crazy.
look at people and go, "Ooh, I need another female. Let me only hire this."
Exactly.
You know what I get all the time
I need
being in a
one
Mexican restaurant?
Let me hire someone over 70.
All of my friends, all my old
Victor
school
was
army
that
friends
barrier.
and this and that are going, yo, is your staff on alert with ICE? I
Yeah.
go, all of my staff are legal. They always have been. I think we might have had one guy for 2 weeks,
Yeah.
smart kid, but we knew he was getting his thing. So he was side work, hypothetically. But all of our people are actually, and we don't hire that way. It's crazy. Let me tell the cameras, they won't believe this. I do not get over flooded with the Hispanic employment community at all. I never get anybody. I've never had anybody who we've had trouble speaking English with because of their first language is Spanish. African, yes. French, because he was French African or African.
French is a primary language in Africa.
Yeah, Mohammed. Yeah, we've got a couple,
No,
but
yeah.
never anybody who was Spanish. Josh couldn't even speak Spanish. My first chef, but my
Someone came in speaking Spanish and Josh was like, and here's me. I'm like,
Katelyn.
I'm trying to decipher because I'm conversational. If you ask me a question, I can probably answer without thinking about it. But you start asking me like complex, specific questions, it's game over.
Let's
Unless
do
I can pick up a keyword. And he said, cocinar. And I said, oh, you want to cook? And that Josh was like, Where'd you get that from? Like, cocina, you're in the cocina, you're in the kitchen, cocinar, to cook. Come on now.
Josh will never see this.
Come on.
Let's go home with just Josh. Quick story. Josh gets called away. Pandemic happens. I don't want to lose Josh because here's how I got Josh. Valentine's Day, 2020. He had already applied for a line cook job. You'll never believe this, but I threw my whole kitchen out of the kitchen at about 5 o'clock.
I'll never believe it.
On Valentine's Day. I said, you out, you out, you. I'm going to throw out physically. And I'm going to pick you back up and I'm going to re-throw you out physically. So I text Josh. I go, I know you applied for the job. I know you don't like where you're working. I would like you to work here. Would you accept the job? And I'm going to shout out Josh. I'm going to tell the truth. Will you take the job at $11 an hour? Josh goes, yes, I'll take it. I reply right back. I go, I'm sending the lift to your current job. Get in it to prove to me that you're coming to work for me. Josh got in the lift and left me years later. Josh had a baby, Destiny Summer. The Philadelphia Eagles shouted the baby out because they loved Josh's cooking. Oh. This is back in the day when who was coming in all the time? Will Park, Slay, the white running back that all the girls loved. I forget, he sucked, but he was tipping all the girls. Like, we were taken care of by the Eagles, like so much love. And then Josh was couldn't understand Spanish. Couldn't understand any of that. Loved Josh. And how I got Josh was I sent a lift for him to get his job and then left me years later. I'm buying a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, buying a steak and a Chick-fil-A.
7 or 8 months later, I'm at Chi-Chi's in Aston. No, on Chili's on City Line Avenue. I ordered nachos, 2 drinks. All of a sudden I get hit with a hip check. It's Josh, assistant manager. So yeah, we're not, I loved our staff. I love your version of DEI inclusion. Josh, special people. He wasn't, but we had everybody. Everybody. Give me one name from the past as we go out.
I'll always just take my Musketeers.
Okay.
Until the day I die.
I'll give you mine, and we'll let Mecca next. Who was the girl? It's when we had the all lesbian kitchen. That didn't work. Who was the girl who thought she got paid by her schedule? Would show up hours late.
Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
She had me cornered. No.
Remember her?
I wasn't
Mecca
there.
Was there. This girl cornered me in the back hallway. And when I say cornered me, I mean got me in between the door and the wall into a corner. And I was like, oh, God, I'll go down.
Oh, yeah.
And
she's a little angry.
She pulls up her pay stub and she's like, why does it only say, 70 hours? I was scheduled for 80. I said, you showed up late for at least 5 shifts and you left early for 5 shifts. That's 10 hours.
She thought she got paid by her schedule.
I was like, yeah.
Give me one person from your past that we can smile about as we go home on this episode.
Oh, God. Where do I start? What was the kid, the little Italian kid?
Little Italian. Oh, God.
He was a short one.
What's it?
Kitchen server?
Kitchen. He, you hired him for server and kitchen. You remember? Had the dark hair.
Hired a couple that way.
Yeah.
No.
What's his name? Alex?
I don't know. We hired one guy.
Remember he came to you and said, Mecca wants me to come and work, do some more shifts with her in the kitchen so she can show me everything.
All lie.
I said, Stephen, that is a lie. I never said that. I never said that.
Oh, I remember you saying that to me, though.
I did not like him.
Well, this was cool. This was fun. Katelyn and I, we were going to do this just ourselves. We have a bunch of other guests coming up, but we wanted Mecca on today. I just hit her up. I said, yo,
oh,
dude, no, we did. I haven't Sorry, Setting the Record Straight friends, but we honestly hadn't thought about this podcast until today when I was on a phone call. Ooh, let's end this way, with Wheatley Vodka, and it didn't go well. Oh yeah, he called me on the carpet about some shit, and normally I couldn't believe I answered the phone. I told her, I'm like, oh, it's avocado.
He doesn't even answer when I call.
No, and I answered the phone, and he goes, I want to know why this, and I was just caught off guard. So if you think we're going to be back next week, you're goddamn right. And I don't know if Wheatley's going to sponsor us, because now I have a head of steam. Now I'm a little pissed off at my own sponsors. But let me shout out one thing as we go off the air. Roxborough Rants and Raves. Be careful. I need y'all to like garage beer. I'm going to be doing $1 garage beer podcasts. Possibly. Roxborough Rants and Raves, the more anger you come with, the more booze we're going to give you, to tell you the truth. We literally got a sponsor already last week. I'm like, dude, we don't even have a podcast. Let's figure it out.
Young John!